What if I told you you could have direct access to the mental toughness secrets of top athletes in the world? Well, today, here at Molliteum on the Difference Maker podcast, we're going to bring you those exact things. In fact, we're going to study 3 athletes and their mental toughness secrets today and what they did. Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo, and LeBron James. We're going to expose how they are able to stay as mentally tough as they are. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're basic things that you can apply, things that you can put into practice today and start getting results tomorrow. In fact, I will arguably say this: if you start putting them into practice today, you will get results immediately. You just have to do it. So with that being said, here's part 2 of the mental toughness secrets of elite athletes on the Difference Maker podcast, brought to you by Molliteum. Difference Makers, welcome back to the Difference Maker podcast. Your host, Matt Caldaroni. Today I'm alone. Chris is unfortunately behind the camera today, behind the scenes, not feeling too well. But that's okay. The show must go on. So we're going to be talking today about the 3 mental toughness secrets now, the part 2 from the part 1 that elite athletes are using. If you missed last week's episode, you're going to want to go take a look at it. This precedes it. Last week, we covered Michael Jordan, what he used to do for mental toughness secrets, Serena Williams, what she used to do or does, Kobe Bryant, what he used to do, and Simone Biles. And today, we've got coming up the great Cristiano Ronaldo, the great Tom Brady, and of course, the great LeBron James. So super exciting episode today. We're going to be diving into all of this. And one thing I just wanted to say is just remember, it's not a matter of doing every single one of these. It's a matter of taking the ones that work for you and applying them into your game. And here's the reality. You're going to have to try some, right? You're not going to hit the perfect match right off the start. You're not going to be hitting the perfect, mental toughness part. What the purpose of these episodes are is to show you what the best in the world are doing so that you can take from them, steal from them, and use them in your performances. So with that being said, let's dive into Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo did 2 very interesting things. He paired goal setting with mental rehearsals. So what does that mean? Cristiano Ronaldo was great. And if you look at him and study him now, he's a fantastic athlete at being able to set a target and go after it, right? Think of all the leagues that he's played in before. La Liga from the Spanish league, Serie A, the EPL, now in the Saudi league. But he's excelled at every single level, including the national team level as well. And he's shattered many, many records. One of the things that he's on record for giving credit to for this is his mental rehearsals that he pairs with his goal setting. So what does that mean? This means that Ronaldo doesn't just only set, short-term goals that happen tomorrow. He's great at being able to set a long-term goal as well as break it down into short-term goals as well. So what does that allow you to do? Well, first off, and most importantly, you have to understand that the most achieving people in the world, if you study them, if there's a recurring pattern they all have, it's not just that they have these mini goals. It's that they think big and they have a long-term 10-year goal that they're able to say, okay, in 10 years, this is where I want to get my life to. And maybe you might be saying, well, Matt, that's a little bit daunting. And if it is for you, that's okay. Set a 5-year target. But I would highly suggest if you have the opportunity to, go with that 10-year. Because when you're able to look at that 10-year, you have to understand, achievers focus on the future, but happy people focus on the present. So what you have to be able to do is you have to say, okay, this is where I want to go. This is my end goal. This is what I want to one day get to. Here's how I can stay focused on the moment to take one step to get there. And that's what Cristiano Ronaldo did because a lot of times people just set these long-term goals and they get very, very overwhelmed by them. But when you can break it down into a short-term 30 to 90 day target and ask yourself, how do I take just one step towards this big future? And I'll give you an example in a sec, but that allows you to then have future pacing movements, right? So you're going forwards to where you want to go, but it allows you to stay present in the moment on the next 30 to 90 days in front of you, right? So what he does is he sets these targets long-term, breaks it into a bite-sized chunk for the next 30 to 90 days, and then he rehearses himself accomplishing those targets. And what this allows him to do, and will allow you to do as well, is that it gets you extremely clear on the steps you need to take to accomplish your targets. I was talking to an athlete yesterday and I was saying this. I said, what's funny is a lot of times people think that it's the targets you set that get you to the next level. It's really not, right? Think of this for a sec. Ponder this. Successful people have the same targets as unsuccessful people. They both want to accomplish. But what's the difference? Well, the reality is it lies in their habits, right? Their day-to-day actions. So when you're setting a target, you have to understand it's not a matter of just going for the future and just setting a target of I want to score more goals. First off, whenever you set a target like Ronaldo, you have to set an identity-based target. That's what we talk about here at Molliteum. And an identity-based target is to say this: the only way to make your goals come to life is by becoming it. So let me give you an example. If in 10 years I have this massive target of wanting to be, one of the most celebrated athletes in the league, and I'm one of the most achieving all-stars of the league, and I won the most championships and so on, and that's who I want to become, I'm looking at understanding what habits it takes to get there, because the only difference between successful and unsuccessful people are the standards of habit they set for themselves. So let's break it down. If you compare the average individual, the amateur athlete, to the high-achieving Cristiano Ronaldo, think of him for a second. Look at his habits. If you watch any documentary that's about him, the Juventus one, or there's a couple other ones he's a part of, look at the habits he has. Okay, he's sitting out there doing the little things, eating well, sitting in the sun and getting vitamin D. And he goes, look, all these people, they laugh at me because I'm sitting here in the sun without my shirt on, but I'm getting my vitamin D intake. That's the difference of these habits. So what you want to do when you set a target is you want to set your long-term vision. Okay, and your long-term vision, you can list it out. This is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to become. Just put a big list for it. But then ask yourself, what's the most important next step I need to take in the next 30 to 90 days? And that might be, well, right now in the next 30 to 90 days, I need to become a master of shooting 3 balls if you're a basketball player. I need to become a master of, let's call it, crashing the net if I'm a hockey player. I need to be a master of finishing inside the 18-yard box if I'm a soccer player. So that's your next 30 to 90 day target. And then what you want to do is you want to set out a list of daily actions you must follow in order to accomplish this target. And this is where the power of Ronaldo's mental rehearsal comes in. So maybe those daily actions are train for 10 minutes a day on this specific skill and train for 10 minutes a day on this one as well. So combine 20 minutes. I need to visualize my skills daily. I need to study film on role models or my own film daily. Or play daily. I need to, do an extra recovery session. I need to get to the gym. But list out, and any target I'm telling you right now can be hit in 30 to 90 days with 3 to 5 daily steps to take. Okay. So what you want to do, list that out, go through it. Okay. And then you're going to be able to have your daily actions that you follow. So now I just have a checklist of 5 things I need to do, and I'm becoming that person with habits. It's that simple. So here's what Ronaldo did. First, he would set those targets, like I said. And when he mentally rehearsed, what this does is the science behind it, it engages the same neural pathways as physical practice, AKA you enhance muscle memory. So if you ever want to go out there into your performances, feeling as though that you've already been there, as if you don't need to think, mental rehearsal does that for you, because it's repetition that actually gets you to play without thinking. So many times athletes come to us and say, oh my gosh, I want to play without thinking. I want to play as if I'm not even thinking about myself performing out there. I'm just dominating. It's like, okay, that doesn't come from this 10,000 hour rule. That's actually a myth. What they found in the research is that the 10,000 hours were the amounts of repetitions you needed before it became automatic for you. Instead, what you can do to cheat this process is you can mentally rehearse it over and over again. So the first thing it does, it creates that pathway in your body to make you feel like you're not thinking. This is what leads to muscle memory, okay? And second thing is that when you set goals, it drives motivation through your dopamine. It sets off your dopamine enhancement, or receptors. So when you look at this and you think of it for a second, there's a clear reward system that happens when you accomplish a target, right? So you feel excited, that excitement feeling when you can cross something off the list. In fact, there were a lot of studies done where people would actually add things to their daily to-do list just so they could cross it off and feel that sense of accomplishment, aka that sense of dopamine rushing through. So when you have these targets set out, you're setting yourself up for future success with that. But so many times you see athletes that come into it that don't have any targets, and most importantly, they don't have any habits. Okay. So when you combine these two things, the research shows us that pairing mental rehearsals with goal setting creates a roadmap for success, because you visualize the achievement of a specific goal, which reinforces commitment. And on top of that, it strengthens your focus and builds resilience against setbacks. So why does it do this? Let's put this into layman's terms. So think of something for a sec. If you have a goal and you're just visualizing it, and you're visualizing what you need to do, you're visualizing the perfect steps you need to take, you're visualizing yourself accomplishing it, and that's what's in your visualization, and you have that goal, what you're doing now is reinforcing the pathways to get there. And so many times, if you look at anybody in history that's accomplished anything great, none of them started out with the perfect action plan to get there. What they did was, though, they had a strong level of desire, and all of them talk about, if you listen to interviews or do your research, all these successful people talk about in some way, shape, or form, either visualizing or manifesting what they wanted to happen, right? So they would just see it over and over and over again in their head. And what that does is getting a little nerdy on you, but it opens up your RAS so that you start seeing the success around you. Your RAS in your brain is what's responsible for you to notice things around you. So if you start visualizing failure all the time, your RAS is tuned for failure and more things start to happen. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tune your RAS for success though, and only start focusing on things that make you successful, that allows you then to notice those success opportunities in your pathway. So very simple. Your action step is this: set long-term goals, break it down into the next 30 to 90 days, set some action steps to take on a daily basis, and then visualize yourself accomplishing that goal on a daily basis. That's what Ronaldo does. It works for him. I'm telling you, borrow from the giants from other giants, stand on the shoulders of giants. Take this one from Ronaldo. It works. I've seen it work for myself. I see it work with all of our athletes that we work with. I see it work with Ronaldo himself. I'm telling you, the proof is there. Get what you have to get done. Okay. Next one. Tom Brady. So Tom Brady did two things, and he continues to do it today, even though he's an entrepreneur, not a football player, but it's practicing gratitude and having a routine. So let's talk about this, what Tom does. Tom incorporates gratitude journaling and strict routines to maintain mental clarity, focus, even in high pressure situations like he used to do in the Super Bowl. So he activates and puts this into play. And there's a couple things that the science shows that this does for us. So number one, gratitude lowers your stress and boosts your resilience. So when you practice gratitude, it reduces cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone and activates brain regions associated with emotional regulation and happiness, such as the prefrontal cortex. So here's why it does that. Let's make this a little simpler for you to understand. When you see that you already have greatness in your life, when you see that you already have things accomplished in your life, when you see that your life is good, right? You're now playing with house money to achieve at the next level. And this practice of gratitude is something that if, again, you go to listen to the interviews or you go do your research, many successful people talk about starting their day with loads of gratitude, loads of giving thanks, maybe through prayer, maybe through journaling like Tom. But regardless, they start their day with that gratitude because if you want to achieve at the next level, you can't do it in a fear-based mindset. So what this does is when you start practicing gratitude, it activates something called an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset, through research and science and history even, has shown people who are successful act as though they already have everything that they need. And they're just now going to the next level. And if you think of some of these great athletes, you see it, right? Think of Tom Brady. If you're a football person or a fan and you notice or used to watch Tom, he used to talk as though he already accomplished something, but he was also grateful for what he had, right? Think of the great Michael Jordan. He did the same thing. Think of Serena Williams. She did the same thing. Just listen to how these people talk and they let their patterns come out. They let their clues come out, right? So practicing that, having that gratitude on a daily basis allows you to emotionally regulate yourself. How many times do you wake up throughout the day or in the morning, throughout the week, and you're stressed, right? All of a sudden you start thinking of all the things that are going wrong. This is actually the natural function of your brain because what it's built to do is to protect you from things that go wrong. So what you want to do is when you wake up, just like with Tom, he lowered his stress and boosted his resilience by being able to see he already had things positive in his life. And there's even a study that showed this. In 2015, a study in Frontiers in Psychology found that athletes who kept a gratitude journal experienced lower stress and improved performance under pressure. Funny how that works. So your major takeaway you got to understand is this: if you reflect on what's going well and creates going well in your life, it creates a mindset of abundance and it reduces anxiety. And during competition, it helps you lower that stress level. Okay. Second thing, why routine matters in Tom's life. Why was waking up and doing this the most important thing? Well, routine builds consistency and confidence, right? So when you have a structured routine, it leverages the brain's habit loop. What that means is you wake up, you get into routine, and you know you can depend upon your habits to make you successful. So when you look at this, automating positive behaviors and conserving mental energy allows you to achieve at different levels. So think of this for a sec. When you have this consistency and routine and you're building that consistency, it allows you to automate the things that make you successful. Remember when I told you with Ronaldo, it's important, write out what the daily actions are you need to take to get there. This is why that's automating those daily actions that allow you to be successful. So if I know, for example, that I need to keep a gratitude journal every morning, I need to make sure that I'm doing mental rehearsing every day or mental reps every day. I need to make sure that I'm reviewing my goals every day. I need to train my skills for 20 minutes a day. And I just focus on doing those things and I make it a routine now. When you do that, it becomes something that allows you to build confidence because you can fall back on your habits. Okay. And that's what Tom did. Tom practiced gratitude. He made it a routine for him. And that allowed him to constantly have that emotional regulation, which is why you notice Tom being one of the most calm athletes even in the face of adversity. Go watch any of his highlights. It's like no matter what, even in the last dying minutes of the game, he was able to stay straight and focus on what he had to do. That comes from this practice, right? And the last part, gratitude and routine together enhance your mental toughness. And here's what the science finds. By combining gratitude and routine, it strengthens psychological resilience by fostering a balanced mindset and creating stability. Gratitude shifts your focus to the positive, while routine ensures consistency and preparation. So, what is that really saying for you? What that's saying is simple. When you practice gratitude and you combine it with routine, it allows you to stay in a mindset that's positive. And most importantly, because you're building routine now with many different things in your life, you're able to maintain that confidence as well. So pair confidence with positivity. Tell me this, if I told you could walk into every performance feeling good about yourself and feeling sure of your skills, you would say, absolutely, I can dominate, right? The problem is that oftentimes it's not that athletes aren't good enough. It's that there's often an absence or, they're not doing the consistent part or they're not doing the work to get there. Combine those two things together, consistency with the positive work, you're going to have dominant performances. It's that simple. So borrow this page out of Tom's book. So here's what you can do for this. Very simple. Practice gratitude daily. Write down 3 things that you're thankful for. I do this every single morning. I do it in my journal. It's a great practice. It allows me to really understand what I currently have. And I see that I'm playing with my house money, right? Same with you. Secondly, when you do that, establish a pre-game routine or what we call a pre-performance system that allows you to create consistency to reduce anxiety. It's a very simple thing. We talk about this a lot at Molliteum. If you just go to YouTube and type in Molliteum pre-performance systems, I promise you'll have so many masterclasses that come up. We've done multiple episodes on it. Check it out. It's great there. And then finally, you want to blend the two together by incorporating gratitude into your routine, such as doing cool downs before sleep in order to maintain a positive and focused mindset. So one thing that we notice a lot of our athletes do sometimes is that they journal gratitude before they go to sleep. It allows them to recap the day, see that there's wins. It can even be as simple as you asking yourself, what are 3 wins today, and writing them down. It's a major win. And I'm telling you, if Tom Brady's doing it, if he achieved everything he did and is still achieving as an entrepreneur, it's probably going to work for you as well, right? So borrow this little hack. Hey, quick note, Matt Caldaroni here. If you are an athlete or the parent of an athlete who's serious about taking their mental training to the next level this year, then you need to consider working with us here at Molliteum. We offer a variety of different solutions for you, from resilience profiling to see where you're at in regards to how your resilience is and what can be improved, to our one-on-one coaching, to our group coaching programs, to even working on the Molliteum Pocket Coach, where you're able to work on your own through different things. We've got you covered. We have so many different solutions for you to take your life to the next level. As much as this is about performance, we're passionate about empowering you to discover your full potential. So with that being said, check out the links down below. We have many different options for you. See what's the best fit for you. Maybe it's just our newsletter. Maybe you just want more of Matt and Chris on a weekly basis to tell you about what you need to do weekly, what we're discovering, how we're finding it. That's fine too. But check it out. It's all down below. And there's one thing we guarantee with every single product, doesn't matter if it's one-on-one coaching, group coaching, or even our pocket coach, we guarantee results with everything because we believe in us and you that much. So with that being said, check the links down below. Take action. This is the year to change your life and, most importantly, to take it to the next level. The last mindset mental toughness hack comes from the great LeBron James. And there's 2 things that he does. And it's funny because this is what a lot of athletes don't actually look to for mental toughness. And that's sleep and recovery. And this gives them a mental edge. So let's talk about this. What LeBron does is that he emphasizes sleep as a critical component of his mental toughness. He views proper recovery as essential for maintaining focus and resilience during games. Listen to that statement for a sec. He views sleep as a critical component of his mental toughness. I can't tell you, and I was guilty of this myself as an athlete. I see a lot of our athletes guilty of this when they come to us to start working. They see sleep as a burden, not as a, let's call it, tool or a weapon for high performance. They see it as something that they just have to do. I have to get to sleep on time. I'm missing out on so much. Here's the reality. I'm going to tell you this right now from working with over 5,300 different athletes from the youth to pro level in leagues like the NHL, NBA, NFL, and many more. Esports, all of that stuff. The athletes who are truly successful and consistently successful at the top aren't doing anything special. What? Hear me out. What these individuals are doing are mastering the fundamentals and the basics that everybody else stops doing. So a lot of times I see athletes that come to us and they say, oh, I got to try this new training thing. I got to do this breathing technique. I got to jump in cold water every day. And all of those are good. But those are next level things, right? Depending on how you look at it. The basics are simple. Have goals, know what skills you want to work on throughout the day, visualize those skills, practice those skills daily, have a system before your game so you can get calm. Basics every day. Do you know how many athletes actually do that? Do you know how many athletes actually put those into practice and actually do it consistently? Slim to none. So what are the best in the world doing? Well, it's funny because we often see, crazy things like, oh, they did this sleep deprivation tank or this cold plunge or this cryotherapy or whatever. That's the marketing sexiness that's shown at the top. What are these individuals really doing? Like LeBron? Basics. Sleep is a part of my mental toughness. Let's talk about why. Okay, there's research in this. Number one, sleep and recovery improves emotional resilience. REM sleep plays a critical role in emotional regulation, helping athletes process stress and maintain composure. Recovery activities like stretching or mindfulness further reduce mental fatigue, increasing resilience during adversity. So let's talk about this for a sec, okay? Because this is something a lot of people miss. Have you ever woken up and you've just felt stressed when you hadn't got enough sleep? You're yawning all over the place. Eyes are burning a little bit. You kind of got that feeling in your stomach. And it's just like you're rolling in the day, right? This is why sleep is so critical for emotional regulation. And I'm not sitting here saying that you need to become this guru of sleep. I'm saying, though, like LeBron, you need to prioritize your 8 hours. You have to. Because it emotionally regulates what you need to do. Now, recovery on the other side, I can't tell you how many times I have seen athletes personally working with them, seeing our coaches work with them, and they're not recovering the right way. And then here's what happens. You go into games stressed and worried about everything that's going wrong. My legs are heavy. My arms are sore. My back is sore. My chest is sore. My neck is sore. Everything's sore. And then you can't focus on what you need to do to be successful. Instead of focusing on the things that bring you power, driving the net, taking threes, Instead, you're focused on, oh my God, my legs hurt. My legs are heavy. I'm tired. I'm all over the place. I'm telling you right now, please take it from me. We've built this company off of working with greats like the one behind me. I'm saying this. Basics. Basics win the game. Even at the top level. Yes, you can add layers after, but like LeBron, master sleep and recovery. Okay. Another scientific point of this. Recovery enhances stress regulation. So what does that mean? Well, sleep and recovery reduce cortisol levels and replenish serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters crucial for emotional stability and motivation. Oftentimes, I will say this, a lot of athletes that come to us, they're stressed beyond all belief, they're tired, they're running all over the place, and they come to us and say, oh my God, I just can't find the motivation and drive to do this. And then when we put them on a cool little sleep schedule for the next week, after getting a regular 7 to 8 hours a night, I suggest 8 for athletes, but 7 to 8, all of a sudden, these people are, oh my God, Matt, my motivation is rediscovered. It's not motivation. It's that you reduced your fatigue, okay? Because when your body's tired, your mind's tired, right? Everything's connected here. I can't stand how in this, sports psych, if you will, industry or coaching industry, sometimes we forget the mind is connected to the body, right? And the body's connected to the mind. What you do physically impacts you mentally. What you do mentally or emotionally. What you do emotionally impacts you physically. It's all connected. It's like 2 arrows, right? One going up, one coming down. I'm telling you right now, sleep, massive one. If you're somebody that's getting by on sleep and gaming with the boys or gals at night and throwing that sleep away, emotional regulation, it's not happening. You're going into games stressed, you're fatigued, you're all over the place, you're stressed out, and you're not making the best decisions possible, okay? Last thing, sleep boosts your cognitive function. During sleep, the brain processes information, consolidates memory, and clears toxins that can impair cognitive function. So here's a funny thing. I've heard so many athletes that, and maybe you're one of them, who uses so many different of these like cognitive tools, right? And those are very important. I'm going to say this right now. Very important for success, okay? Cognitive function, check them out. There's a lot of things. We haven't partnered with anybody yet on the side, but I'll tell you, arguably, cognitive pairing with mental training or emotional training is one of the most important things, okay? However, I'll tell you this. So many people jump, again, like the cryotherapy and all that stuff, before getting the basics down. Sleep is arguably one of the most important free tools that you have to use, and you're not using it probably to the best that you can. Okay. So make sure that you do this. So here's a major takeaway. Number one, you want to prioritize sleep by sticking to a schedule of 7 to 9 hours per night. Consult your physician, consult a specialist, of course, when it comes to this first. But with the minimums and maximums, with the research being out there, minimum 7 hours, maximum 9. Going past that 9 threshold isn't often good. Incorporate active recovery techniques like stretching, foam rolling, or mindfulness to enhance physical and mental recovery. Basics, right? Simple stuff you can do on a daily basis. And finally, pre-sleep routines, we call it here at Molliteum a reload system, allowing you to limit screen time and practice gratitude, for example. Calm yourself down before sleep so you can optimize your sleep quality. I'm going to tell you this right now. You should be doing this stuff 30 minutes before you intend to go to sleep. So not right away at 9 o'clock. If you're like me, who's an old head and goes to bed at 9, I wake up at 4. I get my 7 hours. But my point being, don't do this right at 9 if you're going to bed at 9, at 10, at 11. That means that your wind down should be happening at 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. I would not suggest going to bed past 11. There's a lot of research to support the anabolic cycles that happen post 11, between 10 and 2 a.m. or 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Trust me, you want to make sure you're prioritizing the sleep. And look, I get it. If you're a pro athlete, if you're an athlete who travels a lot, I should just say, I understand that you can't hit those numbers of like 11 sometimes or whatever, but you need to prioritize at 7 to 9 hours. And especially if you're an athlete who's constantly traveling and, sleeping in hotels and it's tough, you need to optimize that sleep time. There's a reason that so many athletes put in so much time into their sleep. They obsess over it. They make everything comfortable around them. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So a recap of these 3 really quick. Number 1, steal the secret from the great Cristiano Ronaldo. Mental rehearsal and goal setting on a daily basis. Do this, okay? Number 2, steal the mental toughness secret from the great Tom Brady. Practice gratitude daily and have a routine. Stay consistent with your routine, sleep and wake times. And number 3, steal from the great LeBron James with sleep and recovery to get a mental edge. I'm telling you, these 3 things are great. Now, if you missed last week's episode, I'm telling you right now, go check it out. There's a part 1. We covered 4 athletes, like I mentioned before. We covered the great Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Kobe Bryant, and Simone Biles, all with their own fantastic mental practices that allow them to be mentally tough. Check it out. And of course, if you want to work with us here at Molliteum, links are down below. See what's best for you, and we'll go from there. With that being said, stay resilient. We'll see you in the next one.